Very welcome to the Long Bangers Thursday Conan in association with Lee Spirits. I'm Matty, and a wee bit of a shorter episode tonight because I need to shoot off around about 8:25 to 9. So we'll get stuck right into it. Ian sporting a almost 150-year-old strip there by the look of it. What do you want to
Yeah.
start us off on tonight?
Well, it's obviously what I'm going to wear on Saturday for the game. So the Celtic trip. So, funnily enough, tonight there's actually a meeting of the 150th anniversary committee who are planning things. So I've sent in a proposal for a walking tour of the south side and Hibs sites, so the south side of Edinburgh. But like you, I was at the game on Saturday, and was very unimpressed with both again with David Gray selection and tactics. So I've nothing personal against Kwon, but he literally is. He should be our last option. So he should be our last option. The selection of him really makes me question why can't David Gray see this. He did the same with Kukarevich. Why would he select Kukarevich? But so the selection, one thing, and the tactics, really the single tactical option that David went for was basically just long balls over the top. And it's almost like there's lack of imagination. So, of course, it would be normal to try and blame the players, but you can't really blame the players when the tactics are wrong. Now, I'm sure that people have played on worse pitches than that. Now, we must be able to pass the ball. We must be able to pass the ball in a pitch like that. And the fact that it was a single tactical option that David Gray used meant that we were effectively toothless yet again. And everybody knows the statistics, so we had no shots on target. And if at the point when you asked us what did we think the score would be, I said I thought we'd win 2-0, assuming we took our chances. Obviously, it was desperately sad when Ahora missed that. I'm sure you were behind the goals as well, and all of us thought that was in. We thought it was bound to be in. It was almost like when Martin Boyle did the same at Ayr United. We thought it was just going to be right in the corner. So that was a hell of a miss. But apart from that, we for a start, St Mirren dominated the game for at least 20, 25 minutes at the start, and they really looked like they were going to score. I'm sure you felt the same as I did, that Olasanya, who's been fantastic for St Mirren, Olasanya was looking very, very dangerous. And if it wasn't for Rocky, then we would be really struggled. And obviously, the fact that Smith made two tremendous saves really saved us. But our defence was good, exactly as you summarised it on Sunday. Our defence was good, and we had no attacking options at all, just a single long ball. The person that impressed me most definitely was Richard Taylor. Richard Taylor, the big English guy, he's come from non-league football, and to me, the fact he obviously had a roving brief. He was going up all the time and way over our halfway line. And Gogic, I felt was excellent. I felt Gogic was excellent. You made the point, of course, that Gogic was fouling non-stop once Kieran Bowie came on. And he was, but that's his job. I mean, the guy split his eye open, in but he came back on. So I thought Gogic was great. I thought Richard Taylor was very good. Rocky was brilliant with Olasanya. And keeping Olasanya quiet is a really big achievement. But the lack of attacking options, focusing on long balls, that was the big problem. As far as Kwon's concerned, literally the problem with Kwon is I don't think the Hibs players, and I think it was John who actually identified that he said that nobody wants to pass to him. These Hibs players don't seem to include him. And so he very rarely actually gets the ball in anywhere other than a straightforward sideways pass. But the other thing I noticed about Kwon is he's instead of pass and move, he passes and then watches the pass instead of pass and move. So I think that's a problem. He just very rarely runs off the ball. So very disappointing. We've done exactly the same as we did against St Johnstone and against Ross County. We're just toothless in attack. Tactics were wrong. And we needed to get to the byline. We needed to get overlapping, but instead we were just playing long balls all the time. So I think the only encouraging thing I felt was the obvious the new tactic of taking a free kick. Kwon took the free kick, just tapped it to Cadden, who then came in from the right hand side, hit with his left foot. But I don't think that was even on target. But I was desperately disappointed, and David Gray has to take responsibility for the Ross County, St Johnstone, and the Ayr United to an extent, and now St Mirren. And I feel we've really blown our chance of getting like fourth place, which is what I thought we would do at the start of the season.
Definitely makes it more difficult when we have the draws. Ian, how much do you think? So there was obviously the pitch was a factor, but the fact that we didn't have a particularly strong midfield out, do you think that plays into the reason for those tactics?
I think the tactics were this is David Gray decided that this is how to beat St Mirren. He decided that playing long balls was how we were going to beat St Mirren. I mean, these long balls are coming from right at the back. You know, they're from Smith and from O'Hara, and you know, they was coming literally from the fullbacks. You know, they were coming long balls from there. David Gray obviously decided that was the tactics. I think the problem is that because Kwon has effectively completely disrupted the introduction of Kwon completely disrupted what was a well-oiled midfield where people were interpassing. So Kwon playing, I think, buggered up Chiantis's normal game. Now, that said, O'Hara is a very, very good midfielder. Mm-hmm. And I think playing against him was quite tough for them. So I think the midfield were deliberately missed out by David in the tactics, but the introduction of Kwon effectively disjointed it.
Thank you. Okay, Jeff, you get your hand up there.
Yeah, just quickly. Ian's right in what he said. We did go long ball, but I think we're forced into that by St Mirren's tactics. They cut off the passes to the two Caddens. Whenever we were trying to build up from the back, the guys, they couldn't go wide because they just cut the passes off 9 times out of 10. The one time Nicky Cadden played a fantastic ball through to Howard Gale. So we'll give them some credit, and they knew they'd probably win the middle battle because we've got Kwon in there, and I quite agree that Kwon's like a man shot at the moment. So I don't think David Gray will go out there and say, I just belt it long. They were forced into it because on the pitch you couldn't really run with it in the middle. You saw when Triantis, who's one of our better players, can run with the ball, just tripped over it 3 or 4 times. So give St Mirren a wee bit of credit. I don't think David would send them out saying just kick it long. I think you just got to adapt to the conditions. And we didn't have a midfield we could play through, and the pitch didn't. You know, St Mirren never played through their midfield. You know, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, it was definitely like a sort of a war of attrition in the middle of the park, wasn't it? Like who could win the second balls? I think that was a bit that I was disappointed with. I thought St Mirren picked up far more of the second balls than we did. Our midfield seemed quite static in that respect. Jeff, while we're talking about midfielders, Alassane Mana made his debut. It was a debut to forget. What did you make his appearance? His wee cameo?
Small sample size, as somebody says on another pod. I'm dying to see him play a bit more than that, and the sending off was a joke, as everyone said. So I'm, no point going over old ground. I'm so looking forward to him playing and maybe taking part on Saturday. But I'll have to wait till next Wednesday, Matty. Yeah, that's it. You can't say an awful lot. He's unlucky that he was a victim of a really shit referee who had lost the plot, just completely lost it.
How do you think that happens with the refs, Jeff? I mean, the referee wasn't bad to start off with, but it's sort of like as the game went on, he just got worse and worse and worse. And by the end of the game, he'd completely lost the fucking plot.
Yeah, I think he realised he was making mistakes. So when Martin Boyle got that throw in, which was clearly came off Martin Boyle, and the St Mirren fans are the moneyest bastards in the world having a go at him. Then the penalty shout, which was clearly wrong from his angle. Give him a. The guy had his hand up, but it did hit his face. So. That's what VAR's for. But I just think he lost it after that, and he booked the St Mirren player for nothing on Rocky. I don't know, he's got something in his earpiece saying, you made a fuck up there, mate. And then he just compounded it by giving Manny a yellow card. I think it was a tit for tat one. I'll give him the St Mirren player one. I'll give him one. Then realise it's a red. He didn't give himself time to think. He just straight out, boom. So he just lost it completely. He might end up being a decent ref, but he hopefully will learn something from that game. Otherwise, I never want to see him in charge of a Hibs game ever again.
I feel like you saying that he might end up a decent ref is a bit like me saying I might end up a supermodel.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think of some examples I can use to back that up, but I'll come back to you. Maybe Ivan Sproul's first game for Hibs or something like that, and he turned out to be okay.
This is true. This is true. Not always great to start with. Sandy on YouTube said first viewer, haha, and also give you a wee shout, Joe. He says, "How are you doing, Joe Capaldi? Is Levitt going to be fit? Would be my choice over Newell, or is our best choice with injuries and suspension going to be Mariah Welsh?" We'll come to you in a wee minute, Joe. We'll get your thoughts on that. Colin said, "Ian's covered it all. Thanks for viewing, and we'll see you next week." Ron said, Con should have gone back along to M8 in January. Waste of a jersey. And Ronnie says, "Hi, guys." Stephen, what did you make of it on Saturday?
Just a shite game, to be honest. Two teams that are really just cancelled each other out. I thought St Mirren probably they certainly had more of the chances, probably were a bit better on the ball, utilised the pitch a bit better. But I cannot agree with Ian anymore. I thought that the midfield selection especially was very, very poor. I know you guys have spoken about it before, that we've got Mariah Welsh there. He's our player, he's not a lone player. I just don't know what Kwon brings. I was quite excited when he first signed based on it turns out quite a few appearances he made for St Mirren, but he just seems to be getting more and more anonymous as each week goes by, and I honestly just do not know what he brings. And that midfield three, they all ended up just cancelling each other out. Recently Triantis has been the best player by a mile. He was cancelled out by Kwon next to him. Josh Campbell brings a lot, if not a lot of quality. I just don't know what Kwon brings, but to not have a shot on target, that suggests that Gray's got something seriously wrong with not only the selection but also the tactics on the day. And I just thought the only silver lining is maybe that's a game we would have lost 9 times out of 10 earlier in the season and previous seasons gone by. So I guess we just need to look at it as a point gain despite a shite performance.
I feel like we need to coin a new term, kwononymous, to describe the impact that he has in the midfield. The attack has been a wee bit. Consider that was the sort of the area of the team that had been doing well, sort of regularly scoring 2 or 3 goals a game, and we seem to be sort of struggling a wee bit again for goals. Would you put that down to, Stephen?
Well, certainly on Sunday, I put it down to Martin Boyle being offside for about 86 of the 90 minutes. I've never seen a player be offside quite as often and by quite as large a margin on so many occasions. That was very, very strange. I guess I've said before about the goalkeeper situation, maybe lack of competition for places. You've got Bowie, who clearly still isn't fit enough to either start or presumably make more than a cameo appearance, and you've got Kugarevich that just doesn't really provide anything. So you're kind of forced to go with Boyle and Gale, and it just as a partnership, it just didn't work based on the tactics. I mean, if you're pumping it long, you're either having to hit it into an area where Boyle can run into, or Gale wins a header, but Gale's not going to win headers. So there wasn't a huge amount of service, and I think it was Ian maybe had said that we didn't get the ball out wide and we didn't get the ball into the box enough, and it's just a whole host of reasons, Matty, really.
I think Jeff made a good point about St Mirren sort of limiting the supply to the 2 captains on the wing. They were very deliberate with that. We're running out of games now for top 6. I think we're down to 8 games, so that includes a couple of games, so 7 league games left. How do you think we're going to fare, Steve? Do you think we're going to make it?
I said last week this was probably a must-win based on certainly the next 3 games being, Celtic, Dundee United, Hearts. Those are 3 really, really difficult games, and other than Hearts away, we've not really picked up a huge amount of points against Celtic or Dundee United. So I felt we really needed to win on Sunday, but I guess the hope I have from Sunday and the previous 2 games is we seem to be a lot better defensively. The defensive unit seems quite solid. If we can maybe just get a wee bit of injection of creativity into the midfield for Saturday, who knows, we might sneak a point. And really against Dundee United, despite 1 point from 6, we've actually played quite well in both games, if not for some absolutely horrendous refereeing decisions and some stupid defending. So I think we can certainly maybe sneak something on Saturday, albeit it'll be a very, very difficult ask. Next Wednesday, we need to be going up to Dundee United and winning, because we failed to really capitalise on their, I think 4 or 5 games in a row they've lost now.
They've had a bad run.
Yeah, we've made up maybe 5 or 6 points max when we could have potentially made up 8, 9, 10 maybe. So that's disappointing. So we really need to win up at Tannadice, and the derby will take care of itself, as most derbies do. So I'm still hopeful of top 6, but we need to take something from, I think, maybe at least 2 of the next 3 games to keep that momentum going.
I agree, and I totally agree with you about the games against Dundee United. I think the fact that they've taken 4 points for those 2 games is criminal, because I didn't think they were. Don't think they were better than us in either of the games. Joe, no Levitt on Saturday, and we lacked a bit of spark in the middle. Are the 2 things connected?
Yeah, can I start off by saying I agree with just about everything Ian said already, and the thinness of the squad is really starting to show now, and I think it could hurt us badly in the next few games. I think we'll be lucky to get 1 point out of the next 3 games, never mind 9. And I'm a heavy through and through, but the squad is just too thin. That's the fact of the matter. I mean, I'm hoping Dylan Levitt will be fit for Saturday. Then there'll be a reasonable midfield. I'm hoping at long last Bowie starts a game, even if he only plays for 60 minutes. For fuck's sake, start him. Because against Celtic, I know they've had a big game against Bayern. Did great, and everyone's saying, they might be tired. Sorry, guys, I think Hibs will get humped on Saturday. It's just
we can go one
I think
better
we
than
moved
Bayern?
badly. I think we've moved badly not picking up a few more players in the transfer window in January. I think we really did. And the thinness of the squad, you just need Levitt to be out for another game. Kwon, thankfully, is a Celtic player, so can he play anyway? He's no loss. But how thin the squad is shown. Newell, they're saying, might be fit for Saturday. He might make the bench, but he's been out for 2 months or something. He's not going to be fit to start Saturday. So the thinness of the squad is one of the basic problems. So let's hope I'm wrong, and that we really show up against Celtic, and that Dylan Levitt can play, and so we've got our full midfield 5 that we're used to playing. But I agree with what was said by the previous speaker. Against St Johnstone, we were lucky against Aberdeen to win 2-0 in my view. So sorry to be doom and gloom, guys, but it's not looking good at the moment. And that's because the squad's too thin.
What about Sandy's question, Joe, about Mariah Welsh? Would you like to see him brought in? So if Levitt's not available, Newell's not available, is it Mariah Welsh?
I don't think we've any other option. I mean, who are they going to put in? Because I don't think Newell will be fit enough to start. If Dylan Levitt's fit to start, fine. If not, you've no option but to play Mariah Welsh. That's how thin the squad is.
I suppose otherwise you're looking at maybe pulling Josh Campbell back into the middle and maybe playing Hoylett in the 10 or something like that.
Yeah, well, of course, if I had my way and Dylan Levitt was fit, I'd bring Josh Campbell back and put Dylan Levitt at number 10. But that's my view, and I think Ian agrees with me on that one too. But it just the thinness of the squad showing us up now. But I really hope Kieran Bowie starts a game at long last. He's not started a game for Hibs yet.
You think we'll see Ellie Ewan at any point for the rest of the season?
Well, I hope so, because I can actually see if Ellie Ewan and if Ellie Ewan and Kieran Bowie play together, I think that could be a dynamic front two.
I'd like to see that, to be fair. So,
but I don't know what the story is with Ellie.
For Saturday then, Joe, no? What about the Wednesday following at Dundee United? Do you think we've got enough to go up there and pick up something?
Well, I think we might get a draw. I mean, they're due to do something in a game. They're due to do something in a game. And, like St Mirren, they're a bit of a bogey team to us this season. But listen, I don't want to be all doom and gloom. I hope Hibs win all 3 games. Of course I do. But the thinness of the squad is killing us now, I think.
Aye. I mean, another point just before I bring you in, Callum. Ian, you mentioned about the 150th celebrations and the committee talking about the potential walking tour. The guys on the Australia and New Zealand Hibs Facebook page, they're organising something. So if you're based over the other side of the world and you want to get involved in some 150th Hibs birthday celebrations, look those guys up. I said I'd give them a wee shout out. I think I said I would do that last week and I forgot. So I've remembered this time. I'm fucking terrible for that. See the amount of times somebody will say, would you mind mentioning something? I'll go, I no bother, because I'm always like happy to do it. And then it gets to now and I forget.
It's interesting because Sean McPartland sent me an email today and he said that effectively it's going to be a full year. So it's we're planning events throughout the 12 months. It starts in August, but we're planning events throughout the 12 months. So that's quite encouraging.
Brilliant. Callum, how's it going?
Aye, no bad, mate. Cheers, thank you.
Good. Where do you want to kick us off on Saturday? What were your thoughts?
There's nothing really that anyone else has really said. I think the selection puzzled me a wee bit because I think I can maybe see why he's played Kwon if he's thought maybe the kind of physical presence, whatever, or the kind of know-how of St Mirren. But even if he turned in a man of the match performance, he's not playing on Saturday. So for me, it doesn't really kind of make much sense. I think as well, like pulling what here I've got left out, the fact that Bowie's not starting because they're happy to play him on these like heavy pitches. Like Ross County was horrible, St Mirren's was horrible. They're heavy on the legs. The guy needs a good hour, like to kind of to push his body through it and see how it really is. So that was the kind of most frustrating aspect for me, other than as Steve mentioned about Martin Boyle. I think you guys maybe mentioned it on the podcast after the game about it's almost like he doesn't have the confidence in his pace anymore. And like you know now that you can't steal that half a yard because of that. You've got to stay at the right side. So I think it was frustrating, and it highlighted a couple of things like, for example, if we can't get the ball wide, with no Josh Campbell isn't going to come in and start dictating the play. Trent has kind of worked away and stuff like that, but they fairly kind of dominated that midfield. So overall, it was quite frustrating. And yes, it wasn't a loss, but a lot of the games we're not losing, we're no winning either. And it sounds like a terrible thing to complain about, but you're looking at 2 points dropped, and we drew with 10 man St Johnstone, we drew with Ross County, so there's 6 points that we realistically should have had, and we should probably be sitting in third place. And I'm jumping on Joe's bandwagon and getting all doom and gloom here, but it was a wee bit. It was kind of frustrating, but I mean we're still unbeaten, we're still kind of on the right track, but huge 3 games coming up now.
I think it's like a stupid thing to say. I can't remember if I said it on the podcast on Monday or Sunday, or if it was something we talked about off air. Is maybe something that you didn't want to say out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud. Is last Monday when Hearts were playing St Mirren in the Cup, and there was a point where St Mirren are leading, and you're sort of quite optimistic because you're like, good, looks like Hearts are going to get papped out here, and then you've got the draw to look forward to, and then 50 minutes later they're through on fucking penalties and we get Celtic, and it's like the mood changed, and it's just like a funny. Sometimes notice things like that, just like a wee moment, and all of a sudden, like a lot of the optimism that was there in the season sort of flipped, and then like you say, we kind of get a wee run of draws, and although you're carrying on an unbeaten run, it's no great being unbeaten if you're just drawing games all the time. You need to be winning them. Cam, what do you make our top 6 chances? You think we'll get in?
I think we could scrape in. But somebody mentioned there about Dundee United's form. Their form's stinking now, so they're maybe due. They're due. I can't go on Saturday, but I've got my ticket on Wednesday, and do you know what I mean? I'm like, it could be a long night. But I think you said, Matty, we've more than matched them, if not been better than them in the kind of 2 games that we've played, other than a stupid last kind of 15-minute implosion up there. So I know from it's never. I hate it's one of them where you pass it off because you're playing no form. You don't expect anything anyway. But we've shown that we can compete against both the ugly sisters. So I'd at least look for a positive display on Saturday. And if we get beat by the odd goal, then fair enough. But we need to go up to Tannadice next Wednesday with some kind of momentum, and then come the derby, we know form goes at the window. I'm not really concerned about that. So we need to come out with some positives, as we did at the last game at Parkhead. I know we're talking about Kukarevic's missed chances, but the fact was that we made those chances, so we came away for that game, I think after winning 3-0 the week before at Motherwell, thinking we'd only drawn 1 and won 1, so we weren't kind of on the run that we're on at the moment, but we came away for that game thinking, no, we're actually all right here, and we're going in the right direction.
I agree with that. Ian, you put your hand up.
Yeah, I'm aware we've only got a few minutes left, so I think we can win on Saturday. I think we must play the players who want to play on the big stage. So I'd be tempted to have Coyle and Gale, and certainly Boyle is somebody who performs on the big stage. Just very quickly in statistics, St Johnstone, we had 5 shots on target with 60% possession. Ross County 4 with 57% possession. Ayr United 5 with 58%. Motherwell 3 with 66% possession. And St Mirren obviously 0 with 40% possession. But against Rangers, we had 6 shots on target with 37% possession. And incredibly, when we got beat by Celtic, we had 24% possession, but 9 shots on target. So there we go. And I think that's going to be the same Easter Road on Saturday.
So what's your score prediction for Saturday? And
I think we'll win 2-1.
Take that. Stephen, how do you see it going on Saturday?
Fuck it, I'll stick my neck out in the line. I remember, I think 2013 we beat Celtic 1-0 with a Lee Griffiths goal, so I'm going to go 1-0 Hibs.
Nice one. Take that. Jeff, what were you?
Right. 0-0.
The tickets are available now if anybody wants to rush you to get one. Joe,
I'm going on with my brother on Saturday. I'm hoping that Hibs win, but I'm just defensively we're good. We're just going off the boil on the attack, and if Bowie starts, maybe 1-0 Hibs.
Joe,
4-1 for Celtic.
Ooh,
and again,
sorry guys,
tickets available. Callum.
Fuck. I think we'll get beat by the odd goal. 2-1 Celtic.
Celtic. Right on the YouTube, Ron says he's scratching his head with Boyle. How does he know, or does he know what offside is? Colin says we're too accepting of these drop points of 8 shite teams. Would you take a draw, etc.? It's going to kill us again. And he said, "Aye, good Ian, but what was the XG? Looking for the XG." And that Ronnie says, "Hit the thumbs up, guys. Yeah, if you're watching, hit the wee like button, please." And Kieran said 2 draws aren't enough for the next 2. Need 3 points from one of them, I think. And I think that's the key thing. I think if you can almost write off Celtic, like you're not expected to win that game, then you go for the free hit thing. You still want to put on a performance. Wednesday night's massive, though. That's what I think is get through Saturday, then take a doing, and then go up to Tannadice and do your best to get the 3 points there. We'll be back with a preview show just at the back of 4 tomorrow, so tune in for that. We'll be live on YouTube. And then we're back on Sunday to cover off the Celtic game. Folks, thanks very much for tuning in and for coming on and giving your